What is up guys, and welcome back to SP Vids. In this video I'm going to talk all about the SP404sx and also the A as well. As I've mentioned many times before, these are exactly the same unit in terms of layout and hardware. There's a few little software differences, but that doesn't matter. And what I'm going to go through is all the different ways that you can customize these little boxes. Now I think that's kind of half the fun of these. Not only have they got all the amazing characteristic effects and the kind of restricted limitations that make beat making kind of fun with this box, we've also got this whole vibe of kind of pimping out and customizing these units. So I'm going to talk through some of the options that you've got. I'm going to let you know where you can get hold of these things, and if I can't remember off the top of my head, I'll leave links below, so I'll mention that as I go along. So the first thing that I'm going to mention is the faceplate, and this is probably one of the most obvious things that you'll see, is that people tend to just sticker bomb them quite a lot. So these faceplates are really easy to remove. They've just got 4 bolts in the top, and they just require a small Allen key. They just come straight out, and then the faceplate lifts off. So all the bit that's the kind of light grey that you can see, that lifts off as one piece. And what you can do is take it off, and then you can apply various stickers wherever you want them to be. The good thing about doing that while the faceplate's off as well is any holes that you have, if you put a sticker on, it's got holes, you can turn it over, and if you use an X-Acto knife or a craft knife, you can cut out using the faceplate as a guide. Because it's metal, you can just get all the places where it's covering the holes, you can just cut them out really easily. So I would recommend that if you're going to go with the sticker bomb option, unless you're just sticking them down the side and that kind of thing, I would suggest taking the whole faceplate off and putting them wherever you want them to go, and making sure they're not covering any buttons. If you're a beginner as well, I'd probably suggest don't cover up the effects, just so you've got a reference to those, and try not to cover up any of the text underneath the buttons. If you know a lot about the unit, then you can probably go ahead and do that, but yeah, for beginners I would suggest that you don't do that. So try and stick to all the places where you're not going to cover up anything that might be useful for you whilst you're learning. Another option with the faceplate is that you can buy stickers that just kind of lay over the top of the exact pattern of the faceplate, and that gives you a complete customized look, and usually they'll have all the details that you need as well actually printed as well. So you might have a design of your choice, and then it'll have all the text over the top. They're a really cool idea. I've never actually bought one for mine. It's something I've considered in the past. I'd love to be able to print them and sell them to you guys, because I think that would be really cool, but I've looked into it before and it seems quite difficult. I need to try and get in touch with someone maybe that's already done it before. So that's another option. If you haven't got stickers and you want to go ahead and have a full design, the faceplate, or the skins as they're also known as well, they're a really cool idea, and I think pretty much as well they should just peel back off. So if you get sick of it, you can just peel it off. But I have actually done a video on cleaning this faceplate, so this has been covered in stickers at one point, and I've managed to get all the residue and everything off. So even if it did leave some residue, I'll link to the video, you can get it all off and get it looking back to as stock as possible. Obviously mine's scratched up a bit, but this is how it comes stock, this faceplate. The last option you've got is that you could just do your own custom paint job on this. So this is a metal piece, and obviously spray paint, anything like that will cover this nicely. Again, like I've mentioned though, that will cover all the instructions and the labels, etc, etc. So again, if you're a beginner, probably wouldn't recommend that. That's more for the advanced users. So in terms of getting hold of stickers, and some people actually ask me where I get stickers from, I just kind of collect them. So Flat Spot, that's the kind of shop that I use to buy skate shoes usually. Slime balls, that came with my cruiser wheels that I bought to set up a cruiser skateboard. And sometimes just get given them as well by friends. This one was from a friend as well, just a snowboarding shop. So I tend to just collect stickers that I like and keep them somewhere safe, and then when the time comes, if I did want to redo this faceplate, then I've got loads of cool stickers waiting to go. Okay, moving on from the faceplate, it's the dials that I'm going to talk about next. So the dials are really easy to customize. They literally just pull off the stock ones. I would be a little bit careful when doing that. You don't want to damage the pots that are underneath here that you can see. But with a little bit of force, they do just pop off, which means that the dials can be really easily customized. The only problem with it is there is a kind of well around the pot, so you do have to find dials that fit. And that leads me on nicely to do a bit of shameless self-promotion, that these dials are actually going to be available on my shop probably next week. I'm hoping to get a massive stock update on there. So I've got silver, I've got gold, and I've got the kind of old amp style ones like this as well, the sort of vintage amp dials as well. So there's going to be loads of stock going on the shop very soon, And yeah, these are really easy to put on. There's just a tiny little screw in the side. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's a little screw, and that just basically squeezes up against the pot post that's in there, and then you can have a full custom dial setup like this. These ones that I've got here, these have been really good over the years, and they're really good for live performance as well because they've got a rubberized coating on them. These are made by DJ Tech Tools, and they're called the Fatty Knobs. They fit perfectly in the wells, and yeah, these have been my favorite dials that I've owned in terms of usage and performance. These silver ones and gold ones are the best that I've owned in terms of looks. I really like the way they look, especially with this setup that I've got now. I think there's a really clean vibe going on with my SX with these dials on the top. So yeah, there's a few options with dials, and like I mentioned, yeah, next week hopefully I will have a lot of stock, a lot of different colours, silver and gold of these, and then a lot of different colours of those old retro style amp dials that I've got as well. So I'll leave a link below to the DJ Tech Tool ones as well, because a lot of people ask about those, so they're really good dials. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the pads. So you may well have noticed that my pads are not stock at all, and the stock ones actually I think are really poor. And when you get onto these pads that I've got on here, I could not imagine going back to the stock ones. So my stock ones completely fell apart, all the buttons were popping out, they broke off, and I desperately needed a replacement. So again, a huge thanks to npcstuff.com. They actually hooked me up with both these pads, sent them over to me, and hopefully the promo that I've done for them back has been worth their while. But npcstuff.com I think actually manufactures these. I think they're pretty much the only people doing it at the moment, so that's where you have to go to get these. The fat pads, which is basically from here down, ignore the top strip there. So these are actually two separate pieces, the top piece and the bottom piece here. They're not fat pads at the top there, they're just normal but a different colorway. And lower down, these are actually fat pads, and they're really chunky and very nice to play. I really recommend these. They're a bit pricey, but honestly they're so much better to play than the stock ones. The stock ones have a kind of buttony kind of feel to them, like a toggle to them, and these just don't at all. They just have that kind of MPC sort of feel to them. I know they're a lot smaller, but this is as close as you're going to get to those sort of squishy MPC pads on an SX. They're absolutely amazing, these pads. So unfortunately the only downside of these top ones is that they do cover the lights. There was a comment about that the other day saying, can we see what it looks like with the lights on? You can't actually see the lights through these pads, but I'm not bothered about the blue and red light in the ring up here. I actually just really like this kind of stealth look that I've got on the SX now. And lower down as well, you don't have to get fat pads as well. They also just do replacement stock ones in different colors as well, so there's plenty of stuff for your taste. So yeah, go to npcstuff.com to check out all the pads that they've got available, and I'll also drop a link in the description for those guys as well, because they did a great job hooking me up. Couple of honourable mentions as well. There was someone that came on my channel and mentioned that they are setting up a custom replacement battery part for this. So they're actually fitting a kind of rechargeable battery pack that fits inside there, and they were doing some Frankenstein modifications to the SX, which that's a super cool little thing to do. So I will try and find that user and give them a shout out. If not, then I'm sorry. If you're watching this one as well, please leave a comment and I'll pin it or something like that. And I know on Twitter as well, I've seen a couple of people that are actually going ahead and swapping out the LEDs in this box, which is really cool. So going that even extra step to customize them, and I'll try as well to find some links to that for you guys and leave those in the descriptions, because some of the designs that I've seen that person is coming up with are insane. I think they've got transparent casing and then kind of full green LEDs all happening inside, kind of like that gaming PC kind of vibe to it. So it looked really cool. I'll try and dig the link out to that and put that in the description below as well. So that is everything, guys. I just wanted to talk you through all the ways you can customize your SX or your A. You can definitely replace the dials on other units as well, but in terms of compatibility, you will have to try and do a little bit of research online and see which ones will fit your specific unit that you've got. So they're not all the same. The pots on the units, the 202, the 303 and this, are all completely different. So these ones may not necessarily fit on a 303 or a 202, but they do fit the SX. So yeah, there is a bit of research required to get the dials right, but everything else you can kind of apply to the other ones, I guess, as well. Not the faceplates, but definitely the stickers anyway. And skins are definitely available for other units as well. So yeah, if you have been wondering about all that stuff, I hope this cleared it up for you guys. Put a comment below and let me know what you've done to customize your SX. I'd love to hear it. And please smash that thumbs up as well. It really helps me with the algorithm, so if you can just hit that thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscription button and get subscribed for my updates. And yeah, watch out for those dials dropping on my shop next week. I'll do loads of announcements about that anyway. Take it easy guys, keep making beats, and I will be back with more content very soon. Peace!